All right. That's set up. Let's go here. All right. You guys familiar with this track at all? Okay. All right. Hang on. Let me respond to this guy in the Discord. All right. Let me. Oh, I gotta share. Let me find out what I did with it first. Let me share the curriculum. Okay. So yeah. I kind of took a little bit of a deep dive in damn GPT to help develop this, and it kind of just gives a roadmap of what we're gonna cover over the next 12 months. Where's driver? Yeah, right. It's all led by Larry. Oh, damn. Just bear with me, guys. Sorry. All right. Let me get this opened up so I'm not talking blindly. So session one's going to be track fundamentals and car control. Assuming at this point everybody has wheel setups to their liking, I would say that it's not like completely critical that it's not critical that your settings match mine. It's whatever you're comfortable with. It's what fits your driving style. What I do recommend though, and there's a lot of people that go back and forth on this, would be steering locks. Um, I personally match my wheelbase steering lock to the car steering lock. I don't use the default ACC 900. So ACC has what they call a soft lock, which automatically compensates for anything. I'm big on visuals, and I have to have that one to one, my actual wheel to the wheel and to the wheel in the car. But with that being said, I I use the steering locks, and I've posted before. You can get them from Coach Dave Academy. Posted a page a couple of times before, the correct steering locks for each car. Now, um, Again, this is assuming that you have setups and everything already in. Do you guys have setups already, or are you using generic in game? Yeah, you have to go to options. Yeah. Who's an 880? Ooh, you should be at 640. Well, uh, I'm not saying you should be, but the steering locks for Coach Dave for the Aston Martin V8 640. Give me a second. I'll pull that again real quick because I already have it saved right here. Copy, paste. There, I just posted it in the chat, George. Yep. Yeah. All right. So going back to this, where did it go? There it is. All right, fundamentals. So session one covers track fundamentals and car control. The first point we want to make is vision and reference points. You want to focus 50 to 100 meters ahead. Choose your brake boards, curve edges, markers. So if you guys tuned into the podcast the other day, there was a mention there that I had done like a track guide. It's not a very good track guide. It's my first ever anyway. For Snetterton, and you remember like coming along the long right hander on the back end. I was like, okay, well, I use the yellow boom lift in the background as a marker as to where I'm gonna get off the gas. You don't want to coast a whole lot, but some tracks I think require it. And so that long right hander, um, you want to accelerate into it as much as possible, right? But once I see that like large yellow boom lift in the background reach about the middle of my windshield, I'm gonna let off because I'm gonna gain too much momentum to maintain that turn. I'm not gonna brake because I don't need to bleed off any speed. And in either case, I either accelerate too much or I brake too much, and I completely lose traction. Right? By nature, braking reduces traction, and by nature, acceleration induces traction. But you can have too much of one or the other, right? So in that instance on Snetterton, when that yellow boom gets to the middle of my windshield, I coast. I coast probably 150 meters or so. Uh, but that allows me to bleed off just enough speed that I can start feathering the throttle or applying throttle to finish out that long right hander and prep a wide entry for the hairpin left that comes onto the front straight. Anyway, so that's just kind of you don't always, my point today is you don't always have to rely on breaking markers or boards or not. Let me rephrase that, not markers, because you definitely want to have markers. Um, but the boards are simply there to tell you when the turn entry begins, right? It generally is a good reference for you to use. But you need to understand the trajectory is probably the more important part of it, right? So here it says vision and reference points, right? So these don't just apply to braking; these apply to turn entry, apex, turn exit, and a point at which you can accelerate. What you want, or at least in my experience, what I want is by the time I hit the apex, I want enough speed bled off the car that one, I'm not falling behind, but two, I can almost immediately get back on throttle at least 50 to 75%, if not 100%, at the apex, and I can carry as much speed out of the turn as possible. So, for instance, I don't know if you guys would want to take a ride along. You can all view me, and if not, you can get on track behind me and just kind of follow my line. Um, and I won't go at full pace just yet, just because I want to be able to, if you have questions as to why I'm doing something, or what visual reference I'm using, you can ask. But you can get in falling behind, or you can hop in the cockpit and just kind of ride along with me. And if you go to garage and then find my name on the timing board and click A, it'll put you in my car. Yep, yep. Now you're not going to get all the telemetry data unless you were a spectator, but then you got to have a different password. So anyway, of course, tire temperature is important, right? So I would highly suggest on out laps that, do I use hood view? No, I use cockpit with the steering wheel in it. That's because your view changes. Whatever button you have, right? Whatever button you have to change your view, you can use that to change it. So tire temperature. I'm gonna simulate an out lap, kinda, right, or a race start, where we're just kind of going around, cruising around, slow as shit. Obviously, straightaway is the best time to start weaving the car. A lot of people say that you don't really build temperature that way. You do, but it's minimal. I highly suggest on out laps to just ride the brake. Push the brake down 25, 30% and full throttle. Just keep the car at a controllable speed, let off in the turns so you don't lose control. But what this does is this, one, heats your brakes up. It's good for turn one. You're not going into turn one with cold brakes and taking out the field. And two, your brakes will induce heat into the tires and help and assist with getting heat in them. All right, so I drag my brakes almost an entire lap. I kind of want my brakes to be on the higher end, and I don't know, some displays will give you a brake temperature, and to be honest with you, I don't know what the ideal temperature is for the brakes. I use the color blocks on the side there in between my tires. As long as they're like a bright green, like you're good. For this particular setup, I'm using brake pads too, because this is going to be my endurance setup for Saturday. And being that it's more than 90 minutes, I'm going to run brake pads too. They tend to dissipate heat a little slower, and they're just more consistent braking overall as far as the bite. So we get in, coming around the start. Everybody's lined up. We're going to kind of simulate this. Who's behind me? Chief. All right. Yep, line up. You can line up with me. We can run side by side or whatever you'd like. Or you can stay behind me. So, and then it's green, green, green. You get in the throttle. Obviously, you're gonna hear. So generally, just past this line, like I'm braking. It's pretty heavy brake because you're going to be coming through in 6th gear, 5th if you're in the Mustang likely. Again, big thing that I see with a lot of guys is not utilizing the whole track. So curbing will help to rotate the car. It'll also throw your car out of balance. Depends on which car you're driving. S's, specifically through Suzuka, has got to be smooth inputs. Don't wait until you're past the apex of the turn to turn. You need to anticipate the entry of the turn, and you need to turn earlier. Smooth inputs, right? So don't wait. That's what I mean by don't wait until the last minute. Again, braking inputs, I don't ever just slam the brakes. Um, what I do is I aggressively apply consistent pressure, if that makes sense. And then accelerating out, depending on your car and your TCs that you use. You know, it's again aggressive application, aggressive consistent application. Oh, tires aren't quite warmed up, but this may not be a great training session, guys, but I'm going to do the best that I can, right? So considering the endurance is coming up for Sluka, just ride along with me. Let me get my tires up to temp and ride along with me for a couple laps. If you have questions, ask. I'm listening. And yep, it's just about car control. It's about being able to feel the car, understand what the car's doing, and how to counteract it without throwing the car out of balance. Yep, no, this is not. So S's, I'm on and off throttle, on and off brake, and will downshift in certain areas. Don't be afraid to use the gearbox to get that rotation. I will say some areas you need to trust the arrow. You're going to have more grip than what you realize. Here, candy cane, like you want to be hard on brakes to get the car slowed down with the gearbox. Just past the apex, I'm already full throttle. I just have to wait to get the car straight to really start getting that power transfer. Coming through here, just past, I'm trailing off. I see my tires are not lined up yet, but so coming into the spoon, you got to get slowed down enough to where you can get your turn in, and at the same time, you know, trail off because it's a continuous turn. Usually in third gear, we'll shift down to second on the exit. Coming through 130R is going to be a slight tap of the brakes, likely a downshift. I've yet to get where I can hang it in sixth gear. The chicane, you definitely want to be in first coming out of it because you just bled off so much speed that you need the full range of RPMs to get built back up. Again, you guys see that I'm sliding quite a bit, but I'm not like spinning the car, right? So it's and how to counteract it. Some of it is counter steering, other bits of it are downshifting and using a gearbox to just bleed off just enough momentum that the car doesn't lose complete control. And then here it's just a feathering of the throttle, keeping the car on track within limits. Again, you use all the tracks, so the curbs are there. You can get on them without breaking limits as long as you're keeping like 2 tires within us. And I don't, like coming out of Degner's, I don't know 100% where the track limits are, if it's white line or candy cane if you get outside tires on. I think it's white line. But keep it tight. Again, trailing off, a little bit of acceleration, braking, downshift, and trail just a little bit. Keep it tight because you want to be full throttle right there at that apex on the exit of spoon. It does pay to run close to the inside here and then come back out wide. Like I said, a tap the brakes, a downshift, and full acceleration on through. The chicane can be tricky because you do have to get enough speed let off that you can make the 2 sharp turns. Braking markers. Anybody has questions about where I'm braking, feel free to ask. Or why I'm braking, where I'm braking.
Red lane, press on fastest now.
Okay, you talking about the front straight? Okay. Wait till I get back around and I'll slow down and you can kind of point out exactly where it's at, and what we'll do is we'll try to analyze that. Tire temps are still a little low. Whoop. Yeah, so that was track limit, so I'm pretty sure it's white line. If you get outside tires over the white line there. You see there, I was full throttle like way before the apex, but I don't know that I would have gained any time there because I just bled off so much speed. There's so many lateral G's on the car that it can't accelerate, right? So you want to keep the car, so turning, right? Turns, you want to approach every turn with the straightest possible line because that's how you're going to maintain the move. The sharper the turn, the more speed you get to lead off, right? Tap the brakes, little downshift. I was back full throttle before I made apex. The track conditions are different than the endurance, so the setup may not be 100%. Yep. Oh, you talking about at the start of that straight, not at the end of it. Oh yeah, okay. So let me get back around there real quick. Which I won't push too much because my tire temps aren't 100% on board with the track temp at the moment. I like to hover right at 27. Like really, like 26.9 to 27.3 is probably what I find the best for me. But that's all like that all depends on how aggressive you are, and where you find the most grip and what temperature. The Degners, you can completely cut that corner. You can put the outside tires on the curbing on entry and exit. So and there's several different ways to take this hairpin. One, you can hit the apex right in the middle, which is a wide entry, wide exit, or you can take a narrow, or actually it's more kind of like a narrow entry exit, or you can make it more like a V instead of a traditional hairpin turn, like 180 turn. Alright, so you're talking about the dip coming out of the chicane. Okay. And you're in the Aston? Okay. Alright, so we're coming through. If I can get slowed down. Alright, so here. Sorry. Who's that? Yep. Okay. Yeah, so I think you could probably what I don't know what setup you're running. You're using the aggressive setup. Really? So I'll share a setup with you here in a little bit, and you can try it. And if you keep doing it, I think if I remember this correctly, and I'm not too well versed with setups, or with how to adjust what, but I think you could add a little bit of rear toe. There's several different things you can add a little bit of rear toe. You could increase wheel rate or increase your bump, I believe. And what this does is allow the car to sit down a little bit more, which means you're going to transfer a little bit more power to the wheels. You should gain a little bit more traction, but coming through here, like you're going to be on the curb here. You should be. Cut every curbing that you can. You're naturally momentum is going to bring you out to here to this curb, and you should already be full power. Like, and
Slow
then
car ahead.
really, as long as you can keep from spinning, you want to run this line down here. You don't necessarily want to run wide, right? So let me here. Let me see if I can't get you guys a good lap to just look at. No, you're good. Yeah. And some of the tires sound cool. I might have to make an adjustment to tire pressures here in just a minute. But let me see if I can't get back around there and give you a good example with the current setup. Well, not like this. I'm not. All right. All right. Let me see if I can make some adjustments here. Give me just a minute. Here. How about somebody else go out and hit the track? Who's Chief? Yeah. Go ahead and again, I can't see your telemetry, but I can listen to the car and kind of see what you're doing. So, yep, Chief. If your tires are up to temp and everything, come around, start and finish, and push. Try to get you a good hot lap. No, go ahead. Yeah, we're not going to limit to just one car on track at a time. You guys can go out and practice as you want, and I'll drop in on. Okay, so you want a little bit wider entry on the exit there, Chief. And then coming up on the straight there, I would stick to the inside and then swing out wide. Yes, coming up the hill, I would stick to the inside of the track. Like you're gonna transition from the outside on the exit of one curve, just going to the inside of the track. It's a shorter line. You can shave a quarter second or so off. All right, I'm watching you. Okay, good. Oh, no, you're good, dude. Come on. Good control. I'd say you broke a little late, but that's fine. As long as you maintain control, just remember that every time the car slides, you're losing time. And I would definitely try to hold these turns a little tighter to the curbing. That means good job. There you go. Late braking, you need to cut that entry curve more, like deeper in on the curve. As it looked fine, I would probably slow just a little bit and cut the exit curving. So try here at this, I don't know what this is called, but that 180, that hairpin. Try a little later entry, but deeper, and make it a little bit more of a V. that was better on the screen. Now, inside, like to the left. Sorry, and then let the car naturally make that more of a straight line. No, you guys can get out on track and practice, and I'll just drop in and watch. I'd be braking and get, there you go. Yeah, no, that looked good. That was pretty good right there, Chief. There you go, curb, tighten it up. Oh, there you go, don't be afraid to get on the green there either. Like I said, the curbing can help rotate the car. It puts more traction on that side of the car and will help rotate it. Yeah. Yeah, you can actually place that entry curb in the center of your car. I don't know so much about the McLaren, how it takes curbing, but with, okay, so it's, well, okay, so sausage curbs, understood, not many cars can. But just the regular candy cane curbing, and again, I don't know if the McLaren can handle it or not. I know with some of the heavier front engine cars, like the Aston, the Mustang, the Lexus, you can actually put that sausage curbing on entry in the center of the car and split the wheels, road or track and off track, and you can do the same on the exit too. So maybe give that a go. Boothie, I'm gonna ride along with you. 296. So this is actually a really good car for this track because you got pretty good braking and you have a really strong gearbox. Like this gearbox slows the car down so much. So, and it squats. Like it's got a really good hole shot. There you go. You can probably cut that turn in a little bit more. I would focus on slightly wider positioning for entry and then cut the curve a little bit more. And this turn right here is where the Ferrari shines. I mean, you can really get in and out of that hairpin. I don't see too much. Yeah. You guys seem to have pretty decent car control. One thing that, and this is including myself, needs to work on, is smoothness through the turn, right? You want to keep the car basically on the same line through the entire turn as possible, if that makes sense. Like, you want to eliminate the minor adjustments, whether you're too tight or too loose coming into the turn. You want to have as straight, it's not straight, but as straight to the car. Turn entry from turn entry to turn exit. Those minor adjustments bleed off speed. Something I forgot to cover at the beginning too is comfortability. Make sure you guys are comfortable in your seats. Everybody's got different rigs and whatnot, but like leg position, back position, angle to the screen and everything. Make sure you're comfortable. Most of our races are an hour long. You guys start participating in endurance races and whatnot, like you plan on being sitting there for hours upon hours. Cut those curbs a little bit more, George. Oh, and stay off of the end of that curbing, because that just like you saw Chief there, the exit on that curbing throws the car out of balance. You know that the original curriculum included that, and I eliminated it because. Okay, who's this, Boothie? Okay, what wheel are you on? Okay, so you're on Logitech. I'm not 100% sure what Logitech. Oh, the D. Okay. All right, so you're on Pentatech. That's good. I will. Well, I'll send you my settings. Now yours is stronger than mine, but I got 8mm, and I think yours is what, 12? Oh, it's 8. Okay. Well, I'll send you my wheel settings. You have load cell. He's running 8. I'm trying to see. I'd like to see. Damn, I wish I could see your inputs, so I could see like and you could just be braking too much, right? You don't. I wouldn't say you don't need to slam on the brakes. So you need to, like I said, aggressively apply consistent pressure. Make an adjustment to my. See if I can get some good tire pressures and get on track and try to figure out, or follow some of you guys or whatever and see. Yeah, you're really going to gain. You'll really gain time by input smoothness, and that's throttle, brake, and steering, right? Like that's just the way it goes, right? You have to learn to finesse everything, but be aggressive with it. I did. And just keep in mind, if you go off track, don't slam on the brakes. Don't throttle through it. Kind of let off everything and ease into the brakes until you can get the car slowed down and hopefully safe from hitting the wall. one of the biggest tools you'll have is being able to feel the car and transfer the weight where you need it when you need it. Right? And that, yep. And that comes with your throttle and braking inputs and your steering. And that's why it's important to be smooth with it, because if you're not, like, it's so hard to just tell where you're missing out on that weight transfer and that traction control and loss if everything is just slamming one way or the other.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
And you'll notice too, once you get appropriate weight transfer, you can start accelerating out of turns a lot quicker, much closer to the apex. Yeah, okay, so there was a pretty good lap. Let's see. If I can get down to sub 202s here. Well, this ain't gonna do it.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Also, I'd say on shifting, it's got to be. So it depends on the car's RPM ranges, right? But downshifting, some cars have limiters on them, some don't. And I would say you want to downshift in a manner that allows you to get the car slowed down as quick as possible, right? Which will maximize your actual braking points, right? You need to figure out where you can, how late you can brake, coupled with downshifting that bleeds off enough momentum and everything that you can maintain control so that you can run deeper into your braking points. Should be having Noah hop in with some tips here, because Hang on a second. I got a phone call. All right, guys. You have to bear with me for just a second. I got some work issues coming up. Yeah, I'd say for the time being, just practice and work on weight transfer balance, right? Smoothness, your input smoothness, making sure that on throttle, on brake, and everything smooth and consistent. Steering inputs is smooth and consistent. Work on making one line around a turn instead of all the minor adjustments and whatnot. All right, buddy. Yeah, fellas, I'm gonna call this one for now. Like I said, you guys got some ideas of what to work on and whatnot. Practice it, and I will get back with you guys. And don't be afraid to just kind of reach out. You want some one-on-one, or after we do a race, or before we do a race or something, we can get on track and kind of work on a few things if you want. Yeah, appreciate it, fellas. Sorry we're gonna have to cut it short. All right, buddy. Y'all take it easy.